I'm going to tell you a story, and the story is that it's the origin story of this podcast, Face to FaceTime. Um, the pandemic had started, and I didn't have any friends or family in the immediate area, really in this side of the country. And so I was out of loneliness and out of desperation for interaction. My brain sort of had just made up this way to feel like I was hanging out with somebody. iPad on a mannequin. And I thought it was funny too. So at least if I could laugh at my loneliness, it wouldn't hurt so much. So I made this podcast, and I it's just kind of really made me feel it got me back on my feet emotionally. I'm still sane because of it. I've still alive, right? So but what's happening now is, tests are being more available, numbers are down, and I'm overall being safe, getting tested regularly, and I'm now deciding to have some guests in person. So that's what this is. I'm gonna have some guests in person from now on, and I hope you dig it. But so today's guest is Ben Cahn. He's a friend of mine. You might know him from Vine. He was very big on Vine when Vine was Vine, and then most recently he's a writer. He's sort of doing some fun stuff on Twitter, Reddit, and an overall internet comedy guy. Great dude. Talented stock trader. We'll get into that on part 2 of this Ben Cahn saga. And that's it, man. I wanted to just update you guys because I know I took 2 weeks off. I'm not trying to pretend I don't know that I did that. But I've just been working on things for the podcast to make it better, create more assets for you guys to enjoy, develop the show a little bit more, and come back with a little bit more of a fresh show for you guys. I appreciate everyone who's been watching and listening the whole time. This is God damn it, dude! And I was killing that intro too. Shut up, Penny, please. And anyway, that's it. I guess that means it's time for me to get into the conversation. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, rate and review is a good thing to do. It's free, helps me. And then TikTok. Started a TikTok at face the number 2 and then FaceTime. Face to FaceTime. Thanks, guys. I will get into this conversation with Ben Cahn.
I really don't like this photo of the guys from that movie. I really don't like it.
Hold on.
I'm getting madder and madder.
Are you talking about the photo from Dazed and Confused?
Yes.
Why don't you like it?
Because it's out of focus.
That's
I don't
it?
like 2 things. I think that movie is just let me go with this and don't interrupt me because I know I my first instinct would be to interrupt me.
Yep.
That movie is incredibly overrated. And I'll tell you why. I know. Clearly it's one of your favorites because you have a photo from, behind the scene BTS stuff with a very young Ben Affleck right there and the 3 other mystery men that nobody knows because they haven't had careers except for the guy right next to Ben on the right. Who is that guy?
Redhead, handsome man.
Yeah, but what's his name?
I don't know.
I don't even remember him in the damn movie.
He's got parts. He's got lines.
Has he been in a lot of horror movies, this guy?
He's definitely been in movies. A lot of movies.
Okay.
Like rom-coms,
Yeah, I think
movies
I know who
about
he is.
law,
Yeah, I know
things
who he
like
is.
that.
I keep burping. The thing about Dazed and Confused is it reminds me of girls from high school who were in sororities who thought it was cool. There was like, my favorite movie is Dazed and Confused.
Okay.
And I don't like doing that voice because everybody does that voice to describe those girls, but it is the most accurate.
You don't have to do that.
It's just nothing happens in the damn. I mean, a lot happens, but it's just And I know that that's kind of the point, is just to show that that's what it was like. That's what the high school experience was like. It's just, it's just a big party night. But the more I think about that movie, I'm like, okay, yeah, they go to a party, and there's the fucking kid with the long hair who sucks and keeps.
He's a little pussy.
I just don't like the movie. The only good thing about it is Matt McConaughey. He's great. He's iconic. He's iconic in it, and
Yes.
I don't throw that word around, but he truly is. He's an iconic guy. Man, how many women do you think the Strokes fucked?
Hold on. Don't try to do what you just did, and you can't do what you just did about Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden something else.
I know. Go ahead. I know. It's a good. Like, if I watch it, I'm entertained. I am. I'm entertained.
You're being so conflicting with yourself right now.
I know. It's just.
I think what you don't like is someone you didn't like said that they liked the movie, and you were like, fuck that movie.
That's not it. I don't succumb to that. An older version of me might have.
Don't succumb to that.
I don't succumb to that. That's not my thing. It's just. I think it strikes me more as a vehicle for, like, man, we sure had a lot of great songs in the 60s and 70s, didn't we, guys? Let's make a movie around that. Let's just here now we got this song, and now we got this sequence to this song, and man, it was such good times, and we didn't know
Here's what I know, you fuck. Here's what I know.
Mm-hmm.
The songs were chosen after the movie was made. That's what I know. The fact that they were able to get the songs because the music supervisor was so plugged in and the producer was the fucking shit, they got the songs for cheap. Because they liked the movie.
Because it would have been very, very, very expensive. Like, a lot of the budget, I imagine, would have come just from the song.
Dude, the song opens with
or the movie opens.
Sweet Emotion by Aerosmith. That's like a $200,000 song.
Okay.
For your movie.
Sure.
I don't think they paid nearly that because they liked the movie. The movie is, name another movie that more accurately depicts a time in history when high school happened.
What do you mean happened? Like it was a
the sentiment, the feeling, the fact that there were these people within high school that did these like weird ritualistic sort of and antiquated processes that were already almost over. They were just doing because their parents knew that they were them. Like my dad, when I was in high school, my mom too, were just like, they thought that like football was the hot like popular guys, and cheerleaders was the hot girls.
Yeah.
Like that was not even it when I was in high school, and I went there. Yeah.
Can I change my opinion?
Yes, sir.
I think Dazed and Confused fucking rocks.
Dude, that's fucking sick, dude. Pound me.
Dazed and Confused is
Pound my ass, dude.
Dazed and Confused is such a good movie. I'm dazed. I'm dazed and all kinds of confused by my own opinions. No, but you do make a good point, and I think it's probably because I haven't seen it in a long time. And years ago, I was just like, actually, fuck this movie, and then that was it.
The thing is that people like a lot with art in general is nostalgia.
Sure.
And what is even more nostalgic for being nostalgic for a time that you didn't exist, right? So if you can actually have that in a movie, that's something, man. That is like, they did their job. They cast it correctly. They did the wardrobe correctly, like everything correctly.
Yeah.
What's wrong? Is your ear getting hot?
No, it is.
It's loud?
It's very loud in my ear. Your voice is very loud in my ear.
Yeah,
Mine isn't. When you lowered it, it lowered my voice.
Well,
which is great.
All right. Test. Hello. Test.
Yeah, test. Hello. Yeah, great.
Am I good?
You're fantastic.
You fucking sensitive ear, bitch.
I know. My ears are so bad.
Bad? No, they're good. If they're sensitive, they're good.
Yeah, they're very strong. So anyway,
very strong.
The Strokes.
Yeah.
You know what I never realized until maybe a year ago, that the name of the band implies stroking, which is humping, sex, right? That's what,
You know, they talked about this before, and people were like, what does your name mean? You know, and they're like, realistically, it's just aesthetically, the word looks good. That is what it is.
Okay.
It also sounds good. It means it could be the Strokes, like I had a stroke.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, and it could be I stroked a dick. You know, I stroked a tit.
A dog.
A dog, sure. But it could be, a lot of different things
Yeah.
when it comes to stroking.
It carries several different verb definitions.
Realistically, I'm a giant fan of the Strokes, and this is why I hate to say what I'm going to say, but, they
ahead.
stole a lot of shit.
They stole a lot of shit.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of bands stole a lot of shit, but they were upfront about it. They
Who
were
did
like,
they steal from?
well, they stole from Todd Petty, the fucking Last Night, the song that's
I was
big.
just gonna say,
bum
yeah.
bum 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 bum. That's American Girl.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same. It's the same progression. Is this it? That's Pixies. Like it's Where's My Mind? Where is my mind? Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that's everything.
But they just said, "Yeah, we did that," and then it was over.
I don't care about that. I think
I don't
that's
care about
fine.
that either.
I think
Because
that's
they
totally
owned
fine.
it, and like you listen to that album, you cannot deny that Is This It is a fucking incredible album.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever someone has something like that, they're like, there's interviews with the Strokes, and I'll say Julian, like, is the one that like sticks out on Howard Stern, where they're like, "Hey, you stole this thing." And he's like, "Yeah, I mean, like it was a good riff. Like, we just like kind of took it, but listen to the rest of the album, and you'll realize that like we have our own take on
They
everything."
absolutely do. Yeah.
So there's really, like, I love that when artists in general are just like, "Yeah, I took that."
I forgot who said it. I want to say it was Pablo Picasso said that good artists copy and great artists steal. Or something like that.
Yeah, that's Picasso.
Something
Yeah.
along those lines.
Yeah, no, that's very accurate. And like, if you look at a lot of filmmakers, they all are like, I took that. Okay, so there's a famous scene in Boogie Nights, right? I talk about this a lot in the podcast, but I talk about Paul Thomas Anderson. Boogie Nights. Do you remember this? When's the last time you watched Boogie Nights?
I've never seen Boogie Nights.
Buddy. So there's a scene when they're basically trying to buy drugs from somebody, like a big amount of drugs from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But what they're doing is actually there to rob the guy because they know he has a safe with like tens of thousands of dollars in it. So they're there to steal the money from this guy. So, but they're sitting on the couch, all three of them, and in the background, so they have the drug lord or whatever, the guy that's like gonna sell them the drugs, but then they know they're gonna rob this guy. This guy has a gun in his hand. He's just like casually holding it, no big deal. He has security over there. There's a guy over there measuring coke, and then there's there's an Asian guy in the background that's like the assistant, and the assistant Asian guy is lighting off fireworks, like little snappers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the entire scene, there's
Constantly.
like there's someone, yeah, exactly.
Oh my
Pop.
God, making you go
Pop.
whoa.
Pop.
Yeah.
Like every 45 seconds or something. So just when you think it gets calm, pop. Now, PTA, Paul Thomas Anderson, he talks about stealing that from Putney Swope, and
That sounds fake.
no, it's a Robert Downey Sr. film, and he stole it from that, and also from his dad. His dad had this thing about like he would always light off fireworks when he was hosting the show, and he just saw that and was like, this is a great way to keep people's attention in a scene where there's already a reason to pay attention. So let me just pile it on and make people really anxious. So he put that all in the commentary, in interviews, everything. He's like, hey, I stole that from this. I stole that from that. I stole this from Casino. I stole this from this. Like, but the idea is that you use the word stole, but it's actually inspired. Like, yeah, this was inspired by this, but then you take all these things. It's like making a fucking smoothie, man. Like you have all these. It's like, oh yeah, so and so does a good raspberry smoothie. I'm gonna take raspberries and put it in my smoothie and mix it with all the shit that I know about.
Mm-hmm.
It's not stealing if you're putting it in a completely different context.
I agree.
The reason I'm very backing this is because I have editors that are friends of mine that I think you probably know who they are, that have accused me of stealing their editing style. And I go, no, you just reminded me that Guy Ritchie did that. And fucking all these people did that before you. Mm-hmm. And you don't know, but you stole it from them. I just have a better film knowledge than you, so I know where that actually came from. So I'm copying them. You know what I mean? It's okay to get reminded by some current guy that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, but does good stuff. and I'm stealing because I'm stealing from the bigger people.
I prefer inspired. I like that instead of stealing.
I kind of like the idea of stealing because it's like saying you have a record without having a record. It's like saying you went to jail when you didn't go to jail. You know. I remember one time. So I went to jail for.
You really went to jail?
Yeah. I went to jail for drinking and driving.
You got a DUI?
I had a lawyer, so I didn't get charged with a DUI, but I definitely was drinking under the influence.
Wow.
Wait,
you were
driving
under the
yeah. And
how old were you?
I think I was like 21, 22. Yeah. And so this is what happened. So I used to work at nightclubs, right? I don't think you knew me back then, but I worked at nightclubs, and I lived maybe like a block from the club that I worked at the time. And I had all this equipment because I was doing photo booth, right? And when you work at a club, you pretty much just get open bar. Like they just give you whatever you want. And so I was getting like 3 drinks at a time for like me, my friend, and like some girl I just met, right? I was just like I was drinking a lot, you know? And so it was very easy to get drinks. I just would get really drunk all the time because I was 22. Who gives a fuck, right? Then after that, I lived with Trinidad. You know Trinidad, right? I lived with him, and we got back to my place, and we were like, man, I could really go for a fucking jumbo jack right now. Really wanted to go to Jack in the Box.
Oh, Christ.
Now, the thing about Jack in the Box is at that time, you couldn't go inside.
Yeah.
You had to drive through.
Sure.
So I was like, fuck it. I'll get in my car. It's like 4 blocks away. Let's just go drive through Jack in the Box, baby. So we had already ended the night. We were already home. And I was like, let's go. I want Jack in the Box. So we go get Jack in the Box. He's with me. He's all dressed up. You know, he dresses up a bunch. And we go through the drive-through. We got all the food, put it in like down there, and then I get pulled over. Oh, no. And then I'm making a left turn to like go home. I'm right there. And this guy is crossing the street, and he has his pants down around his ankles. Not a homeless guy, just a drunk Hollywood guy, right? And I just kind of go around him. And the cop pulls me over, and they're like, hey, you swerved. I was like, oh, you mean around the guy so I didn't hit him? Yeah, I swerved. And they were like, well, you know, just didn't look good, and it's late, and have you been drinking? And I was like, a little bit, but it was like a long time ago. Big mistake. Big mistake.
Yeah.
Never say you've been drinking. Shit goes down. They breathalyze me, all this stuff, and basically they arrest me. And
I would have freaked out,
dude. But they drove my car back to my place for me, which was like kind of a nice thing to do.
Fuck? The cops did?
Because it was so close.
Yeah.
That's how fucking close it was.
That sounds unreal. A cop driving your car? I've never heard of that.
What a time to not be black, you know?
What a time. That reminds me of a kid in Long Beach where I grew up. I remember there was a kid who he went to Wilson High School. He was like a senior in high school. A campus cop just happened to walk past his car, parked in the parking lot at school, saw a bag of weed, just a bag of weed on like the passenger seat. And they waited for him after school and arrested him for the bag of weed.
It was high school.
Yeah. Shot himself, killed himself. Out of sheer just like, my life is over. Kid thought his life was over because he was.
But what do you think in his life made him think that?
Because he was like I think he was like a high achiever. He was like, you know, a straight A student. He apparently
but there was some disconnect between him and the grasp on reality, where like he didn't understand how very minuscule that would have been.
Think about it, man. It was like 15 years ago. Back then, weed was very much not legal.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have fucking killed myself.
Yeah,
I would have been
but
like,
you're
this
a high
sucks.
school kid, and if it's big enough to get arrested for, you're gonna feel like, holy shit, I'm gonna go. Yeah. I cannot imagine being those parents and seeing weed becoming legal now and just ugh.
But I feel like if his parents were just like, hey, listen, it's not that big a deal. We'll get you out of jail.
Who knows? I think it happened very quickly. It was like arrested, jail, bailed out, killed myself.
Well, in that time, if I was the parent, you know, not in today, let's say 15 years ago, I would have, you know, got him out of jail and have been like, hey, you know, that sucks.
I would have told him it was cool.
Yeah, I would have
Hey,
been like,
buddy, I think
exactly.
that's
I would have
pretty
been like,
damn cool.
I'd be like, dude, I'm high right now. Like, you have to realize this is not a big deal. Like, the law makes it a big deal, and don't worry about it.
Son,
like,
let's go to your hearing high. Let's take some edibles.
dude, if that kid heard that, he'd be alive today.
Yeah, probably be a major.
And how fucked up is that? That like, that happened to him, and now it's legal.
I know.
Well,
think
this
about
is
all the
in
people
Long Beach,
who are
right?
in, think about all the people who are in prison because of it.
Okay, so I have an idea about that. Where like, the idea is that like weed is legal now. It's not legal here in New York,
No.
but it's legal in most places, right? Or places, in the U.S. Now a lot of people are in jail because of selling weed or whatever.
Possession, you name it.
The thing that a lot of people say is like they should just be released because it's legal now.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my thing. What they were doing was illegal at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So their activity, the way their mentality was doing, I'm going to do something illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I kind of agree with stay there.
Ooh, buddy, I get what you're saying there.
No, prove me wrong. I
get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Where it takes a sort of criminal mindset of I'm doing this thing
because if it wasn't that, it would be something else.
Sure. I think that's definitely possible.
Okay.
I think it's impossible. I think it is impossible to really ever know because there are so many thousands of cases.
That's true.
There might be so many where it's just some guy who fucking had weed on him.
Oh well, those guys.
Or let those guys. Or was a guy who sold
sure.
a little eighth or a little half ounce or an ounce to his buddy or whatever, and then he ends up in jail. Not because it's like, hey, I'm a hustler. Because I think you're talking about the people who are like, man, I gotta hustle. I gotta, make some money, and I'm gonna sell weed because it's an illegal. I mean, it wouldn't be the case if weed was legal because then they wouldn't have to turn to that. Now I get what you're saying. Would they turn to like coke or whatever the fuck else? I don't know.
I mean, I'm saying that like I like grew up pretty fucking well off, and like I have still in my life got broke enough to, instead of like ask for money from my parents, almost sold coke.
Damn, I sold weed.
My point is that you did.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, not like heavily, but like
you sell like twice, and you're like, I sold weed.
No. I sold a lot. I could have gotten in big trouble.
Wow. Why'd you do it?
Well, here's why. When I was about, 18 or 19, I got my medical card because that was the only thing you could get at the time. You had to go to a doctor and you had to get a recommendation, and then you could. All my friends were too scared to get it because they were afraid that their name was going to end up in some
Get a medical card?
database. Yeah.
But
my name's going to be in a database and they're going to blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter, man. So friends would always ask me, can you go buy me weed? And I would say, sure, just drive me and I'll go get it for you. And I wouldn't charge them anything. I would pay and then say, this is how much it was, and they'd give me the amount.
It's like getting booze for a minor.
Yeah. So then at one point I was like, well, if this guy and this guy and this guy all want weed, I might as well just buy an ounce or something and then just divvy it up.
Oh,
so that's what I would do.
Oh, okay.
And it was a very, very low stakes, but it was, so at the time.
Well, you sold weed to like the homies.
Yeah, but I would go to places, I would find all the different dispensaries around LA and Long Beach. Each one, when it was your first time customer, you got like 20% off. So I could get an ounce of weed for $280.
So you
$250.
Bounced around.
Yeah, but in my car, I kept a big mason jar full of weed.
Of course it's a mason jar.
A.
Yeah.
B, I had a scale.
Mm.
And then C, I kept a ledger.
Buddy.
So it's like all three things
you could have got busted
yeah. All three things that
You're
you
like,
need.
That's not mine, though. There's a ledger that has signatures all over
Well, it's
it.
not signatures,
I
but
know,
it was
but,
just like I would write the price of the ounce up top, 300 with a
Why
square
did you
around
do a
it,
ledger?
just to keep track of how much I was making.
For you?
Yeah.
Just
for my own record.
that just goes like that. Just here's the thing.
It was a little.
Is like if whoever authority, whether it was like your parents or a cop or whatever,
Yeah.
saw that, realistically they should be like, it's a good businessman.
Oh, it wasn't even good business.
My
I
point is
kept
that-
it on a fucking 3x5 card.
Yeah, but dude, no like amateur drug dealer does that. They just go.
As far as I know.
They just generally
yeah.
like. I mean, maybe now like there's QuickBooks, it's a little bit easier to like put it in.
QuickBooks.
Oh, what?
Yeah, Intuit QuickBooks for all your weed. Jeez.
Oh man, I used to I used to use Intuit QuickBooks but it was for like not drugs. It was for like services.
Sure.
Video services. Relax, everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but that seems like way more organized than like the people that I ever dealt with when I bought weed in high school.
Yeah, I mean, I had my thing, and most of the time I either broke even on the ounces, which was the point, or I made like $40, $50.
You know what I liked most about like smoking weed when I started, because I think it was like 16, 17, was that for some fucking reason, I guess it might be more obvious than I think, but what are you doing?
I was swallowing away from the mic, so the mic didn't pick
no
me
one
up
cares.
swallowing.
So it's what I realized was alcohol is one thing to get like girls to hang out with you, but an easier thing was to be like, I have 2 joints, and they'd be like, oh, because they want to say that they smoked weed more than they want to say that they drank, because drinking was easier access for them and smoking wasn't. So in high school, I was just like, I got a couple joints, or I got some, I got whatever, some weed. And because I was really big into like doing the little bowls and like the fucking hippie things.
Bubbler?
Yeah, is that what it is? The
A
one
bubbler.
the one where you hold the thing, the carb?
Yeah, that's a pipe, sure.
A pipe. So I had a pipe. I was just like, I'm a weed guy. This is fucking cool. This is crazy. I had a Corolla. Like I was definitely a weed guy,
You had a Corolla?
I
Toyota Corolla?
I had a 2001 Toyota Corolla. Yes. And dude, check this out. I decked it out though. So what I did was, check this out. I had so I was like, even then, like technologically like excited. So what I had was I had a little like slot holder right here, and I had an iPod. So I put the iPod there. But then I looked up online, and online you can get something that you plug into the iPod on top, and then if it's like a Bluetooth thing, and then you connect it to a remote controller, and the remote controller you can Velcro to the steering wheel. So I installed my own fucking buttons to change the song, adjust the volume, pause it, and I had it like right there. It was makeshift, but I was ahead of the fucking curve, because after that, every car company.
I got you also.
Right.
I mean, you got me beat there, but I had my little brother found at Pep Boys.
Pep Boys.
Specifically Pep Boys. You go in and they sold this. It was a really good deal for like $100. You could get a 12-inch subwoofer in a box with an amplifier. This whole package for $100, and it was solid. And I installed it in the trunk up against the back seat. So if you sat in the back seat, it fucking vibrated that.
You got an orgasm.
No, I mean I'm not
an ass orgasm.
But it was powerful, and it hit, man. And
why did we do that? Like why do people do that?
Man.
Because when do you ever need more bass? You know what I mean?
Well, I tuned the equalizer or whatever such that it really it made for a nice musical experience. And when we would hotbox the car and put on a little music, oh man, it was special. It was cool.
Sure, but like, why do you need that in your? You just need like, in my mind,
you have
like
nothing else.
Yeah,
what
I
else
guess so.
do you have when you're 16? You have that, Jack in the Box, and jerking off.
When was the first time that you lost your virginity?
I was 17 years old, and I put candles on. I lit a couple of candles in my room.
You lit candles for your virginity losing.
I wanted my virginity loss to be special because I thought that if it wasn't, I was going to regret it for the rest of my life.
All right, so now that you lit candles, do you regret it now?
No, I don't care. Now I'm like, yeah, that's how I lost my virginity. But do I regret caring that much? Fuck yeah, I remember. I remember I had a chance to have sex with Shayna Rosenberg.
Oh, she sounds hot.
Who was my crush. She was super hot. And
I love the name Shayna.
Shayna, yeah, it was cool. She was Jewish. Rosenberg, I mean.
Love Jewish.
But we were making out, and she was on hiatus with her boyfriend Steve Carney. Steve Carney.
How old was she to be on hiatus with her boyfriend?
She was 6. We were both 16, and I would come over.
And she said, "Bro, I'm on hiatus."
No. I knew that she was. She was on hiatus with this guy Steve Carney, who was a big fat young alcoholic baseball player. He was on the baseball team. This guy looked 30, and he was like 16. He was one of those guys. I think he's a cop now or something. Fucking guy.
Of course he is.
No, actually,
with his tight grip.
I don't know that if he's a cop, but I do know that he ended up marrying and having children with one of Shayna's best friends.
Beautiful.
But Shayna and I used to get together like every Tuesday or whenever it was on, and we would watch the OC together. I was very much in the friend zone, but she liked me, and I liked her. And then one fateful night, she was my first kiss, and we made out for fucking like an hour.
That's what you do when you're young. You make out for way too long.
We made out for like an hour, but the better part about it is... I mean, you know me. I'm very detailed. When I tell a story, I'm like, okay, here's this 90-second story stretched out over
I love this story.
30 minutes. After I made out with Shayna, I was so excited, and I wanted so badly for someone to tell me what it meant.
What do you mean what it meant?
I mean, like, hey, what did it mean when she did this during the makeout session? And what did she mean when... So I went over to my good friend at the time, Amy Verriger. She lived around the corner from me. I went over to Amy Verriger's house, and I'm not even kidding.
Dude, such high school names.
I spent 2 hours telling Amy Verriger every last detail of a makeout session. She kissed me like this, and then we were laying on the bed, and I touched the small of her back, and then she went like this with her lip, and then
what was it like this? Did she suck your lip?
I don't remember, man. It was fucking 20 years or however long ago it was. But poor Amy was just sat there and listened to me. Imagine a 16-year-old boy describing to you for 2 hours a makeout session.
Dude.
As if it meant something. Like, what do you think this means when she did
back
this
then
and
it
when
did
she
mean
did
something.
this? But wait. Then there was a point where she stopped and like curled her hair behind her ear and looked at me and was like, "You're a good kisser. What do you think that meant, Amy?"
Dude.
Christ. But now that I look back, I'm like, oh my God, I could have, like, as an adult, and if I was with another fucking adult, it would have led to sex within 15 minutes. But back then, I had no idea how to initiate sex. I didn't know what I was doing. And I would have been like, I'd rather be in love with the person.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, no, definitely. Dude, there was like, when I started like doing sexual things, I was 17, and there was a girl.
I bet you were just a fingering fucking... I bet you were one of those dudes who was just like, I just love pussy. I could just fucking... See, now, I never was like that. I cannot get turned... You show me a picture of a vagina, and I'm like, yeah, I get it, but I'm not going to jerk off to a photo of a vagina.
Yeah, but back then, we would have been, like, pre-coming to that shit.
No, not even then.
All right, so the way... there was...
For me.
So the way that I lost my virginity was... there was one girl. Okay, so I remember looking at this girl in junior year, which is when I was 16, and I was like, "Holy shit, this girl's super hot!" Like in the yearbook, I was like, "Oh, she's like really hot. Like, why isn't she popular?"
You
know what I mean? Man. I was like, "Why didn't I know about this girl?" And then, we get our classes for senior year, and she was in my fucking class. I don't want to say her name, but like,
oh my god,
her name was let's
give us her
say-
name. Who cares?
I kind of forget. Oh, I know her name. I know her name.
Give us her name.
I can't do it, Brittany. So she was in my media class, which to me was like, because I'm a filmmaker now, like that was just like a seed that was waiting to blossom. So like, I was so turned on by this
She
class.
was a seed waiting to
No, media, like film,
Oh yeah.
So the way it worked at my school was like you went from media to video production to Shark TV, which Shark TV was our mascot. When you made Shark TV, you basically made episodes that everyone saw every Friday, and they tuned it into everyone's TV in the classroom.
That's fun.
And yeah, it's very fun. So like that's what you wanted to get to. But I was like too late, so I could only ever get to video production. But you have to start in media. So when I was in media, Brittany Schmartin was in my class.
That's a weird name.
Yeah. And I remember seeing her, and I was like, "Oh, that's the fucking hot girl." And I remember seeing that like she had like these like she had like weird hips. Well, I was like, "Your hips are like, you got hips." Anyway, so
precursor. Little teenage you had no idea what was coming. She had weird hips.
She had like nice hips, but like they were weird.
Wow, I was silently analyzing you from across the classroom, and I was looking you up and down, and you've got great hair, a great face, superb tits. Very nice waist, but your hips...
I'm a British man analyzing a woman.
Your hips are just atrocious, dear. Go on.
So she like sat next to me. Like it would just by default somehow she sat next to me.
That's called magic, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. So so then we were like just sort of next to each other. You don't really, when you sit next to a hot girl in high school,
your heart races.
And you're like, what do I do? I don't know what the fuck to do. So I just, did the class. Like I just did me.
I did the class,
dude.
So I just paid attention.
But so I just like did really well.
I listened to what the teacher had to say. Go on.
So at a certain point, I don't remember exactly how it happened, but we got to the point where she like, we had maybe like 5 classes in that semester, and then at the 5th class, she slipped me a note, and I was like, "Here we fucking go, baby! Gotta fucking
just said,
no,
fuck you."
Yeah,
the note just said, "Fuck you."
No, the note was a fucking long text.
Oh, so she was nuts.
It was the version of a long... Yeah, definitely. She was nuts. So I saw that, and she was like, I just see you, and like your hair, and like you're very cute, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, here we go, baby. And then it evolved to the point where she invited me over after class to her house, which is like, her parents' house. And I was like, that sounds sketchy. Like, obviously I think you want to like suck me or something like that, but like I'm not like I don't want to go to your parents. So I ended up I skated to her house after school after she gave me a certain letter, because that was like the beginning of like maybe like 5 letters.
That would have been so thrilling to receive as a teenage boy.
I know, dude.
A letter saying, "I just wanted to say that I think that you're so hot and I like your hair," and an invitation to come.
It was incredibly validating. Like
God.
I was like very always down on myself looks wise. I just thought like I was not attractive. Like I didn't really think about being attractive because in my head, the guys who were stealing girls from me, getting girls that I thought I could get, were white. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not white. And if we were to back up, I'll skip the details, but my dad basically told me, like, as an Asian man, he told me, I think I was in 8th grade or 7th grade, and he was like, just so you know, we're Asian. It's going to be a little harder for you to get girls than white guys. And I took that, and I didn't really put that in like my forefront of my mind. I was like, I'm Asian. Like I didn't think about that, but I heard that and I was like, okay. And like in times like this, I doubted myself. That's when it came back up.
Sure.
Where I was like, oh fuck, I'm Asian. What am I gonna do? Like, it's almost like being really broke, and then getting like business opportunities where they're like, we just need you to invest like 10 grand. And you're like, they don't know I don't have money. You know, it was like that. So when she had this whole interest in me, I was like, she doesn't know that I'm Asian. I think it felt like that a little bit. So
She can't see.
She can't see that I'm an Asian, but what I didn't know was that like I guessed that like I was just like an attractive guy. Like I you know I just didn't know. So I ended up going to her place and being like, what are we doing? Like, this is funny. Like, you know, I was very. You ever see a Night at the Roxbury?
Yeah,
when
like 34 years ago.
Right. So when they lose their virginity and they're trying to like be like, oh, look at this is crazy, and the girl's trying to like suck their dick, and they're like, no, what about over here? Like, look at this thing, this is weird. Like,
Yeah.
I kept doing that because I was so nervous. I didn't know that like that's what it was. Like, anyway, so she ended up like sucking my dick for a little bit, and then she was like, and then she asked me this. She's like, do you come from head? And like. I was like, does she think my last name's Head? Because I don't come from the lineage of Head. Like, that is not my last name. I don't come from that. And so I didn't know what she meant.
You didn't know what coming meant.
So it took me a while.
Mm-hmm.
She was still going down on me. And she was like, she like stopped. She's like, do you come from Head? And then I kept sucking. And I was like,
why, no, my family does not come from Head. My family comes from, well, I'm glad you asked, actually, because I was meaning to tell you that I am Asian. I'm not sure if you noticed by looking at me, but yes, I am Asian. Thank you for asking, but Head is not my family name. It's not my family name.
It took me.
So I don't come from there. I don't know where Head is.
And then I was thinking, like, do you come from Head, meaning like, do I enjoy head? Like, I didn't know what she was saying.
Yeah.
So I just said, I'm not sure yet. and like, what?
Which is a weird answer no matter what, because even if you thought that that's what she meant, like, hey, is this your lineage? You'd be like, well, I don't really know where my lineage is coming from yet, so I need to ask my dad.
I mean, what if I just said, I don't know, I need to ask my dad. Oh, I need to ask my family. Anyway, so I just said, I don't know. I don't know.
Which is actually worked out in your favor, because that's kind of a sexy answer. I don't know.
But then she was like, time for you to fuck me. And then so she like laid back and she spread her legs and I saw her pussy and I was like, wow, this is like a porno. And then I was like, I can't do it. I don't have a condom. And she was like, don't worry about it. I'm on birth control. And I was like, you're a bitch. You're on birth control.
Whoa.
You're young. You're 16
you're
or whatever.
You're a bitch. You're on birth control. Is that what you just said?
No, I said, bitch, you're on.
Oh, bitch.
Bitch, you're on birth control. What the fuck? And so she was like, no, I'm on birth control. And I was like, show it to me. Because I was so scared of getting her pregnant. I was like, show it to me. And so she went and got birth control and showed it to me. And then I was like,
no, eat the whole box.
No.
Right now. Eat them up.
So then I looked at the birth control and it didn't have her name on it. It had her mom's name.
Interesting.
And I was like, what's going on with this? And she was like, well, I can't get it because I'm too young. So my mom gets it for me.
Okay.
And I was like, what if your mom's on birth control and you're just lying to me right now? I don't know. So I was like, I can't do this. And she was like, come on, please. And I just had like a fat boner the entire time. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I guess.
Your dumb little teenage boner.
Yeah.
Focus on your little dickies pants.
My boner was like, dude, please do it. And so eventually I had sex with her like without a condom. And I probably lasted like 3 pumps. And and she had a belly button ring, and the belly button ring it had been a thing that she told me about like maybe 3 days prior where it was infected, and then I came on her belly button, and then
it healed her belly.
Exactly, and then like the next day she came to school and she was like, "It's crazy that you healed my like
it's crazy your cum healed my belly button rash."
Yeah, it did. My cum heals, dude. My cum heals. I don't know what to say. Like that. That's not like me being a salesman. That's me just like saying what happened. Like my cum heals.
My dad has melanoma. Can you come over and come on his melanoma?
I know. I can totally like come in your mouth. You can spit on his melanoma.
Oh man.
Anyway, so I didn't catch any STDs. Nothing. She didn't get pregnant. None of that. But Yeah, that was my thing. Like that's how I lost my virginity.
I have a story. That's a great story for how you lost
Thanks.
your virginity.
Thank you.
Mine is far more boring. I won't even tell it. I had sex with my girlfriend, period. But Brittany Martin, I knew a Brittany Moore. And I think you probably know her actually because she was a party.
I know her?
Probably. This is probably a small. She was a
Did
party
I have
girl
sex
and
with
into
your girlfriend?
she was never my girlfriend. This story is not going to go where you think it's going to go. It's a lot sadder for me.
Okay.
I knew her vaguely through a friend from Hebrew school who I think tried to set me up with her at one point. He was just like, "Hey, my friend Brittany's really cute." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And I don't know, looked at her MySpace or something and was like, yeah. And then I didn't really know her. And then high school happened. And then in college, I discovered Adderall.
Oh, wow.
And I distinctly remember. Go ahead.
Want to drop?
Yeah, sure. I remember being in college, and I remember during the peak of my Adderall abuse, when I didn't have when the Adderall would really hit me and I'd be peaking, I had no control. I mean, I did. Like, I wasn't going out going, hey, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
I didn't have control in other ways, which, as is evidenced by this, I just got into a hole on the internet, and it was MySpace these days. MySpace, and I think Facebook was just starting to take hold. Mm-hmm. But I remembered Brittany, and I went down this rabbit hole, and I ended up on her MySpace page.
Yeah.
And she was just getting into like the under 21 club party scene, where there was always a guy
18 and over places.
Yeah, where Cobra Snake was taking photos.
Oh, dude, I was part of those parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you probably know her. I'm sure you do. But
I
was just like, God damn it. Fuck this girl. God, she's just like, look at her. She's putting on this whole, I don't know what happened. I barely knew this girl. I had no reason to hate her or anything, but I was seething.
Wait a second. So your history with this girl is what at this point?
I barely knew her.
You saw her here and there.
She was a friend of a friend, and I that's it basically.
Okay.
Friend of a friend.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm forgetting. Maybe there was more, but there really wasn't, as far as I know.
I mean, if it doesn't exist more sentiment-wise in your memory, there probably wasn't.
Probably
Even
wasn't.
if it was insignificant.
Yeah. So I just was like, fuck this girl. She sucks so much. I'm going to let her know just how much she sucks.
I think I know a little bit where this is going a little bit.
I wrote her an Adderall-fueled
oh, boy.
rage, just like, you're a fucking bitch. You're fucking...
Oh,
what the
man.
fuck? You think you're so fucking cool?
How old?
You fucking think you're so fucking cool? Like, it was like... It was the modern equivalent. It was that. Basically, I wrote her like an angry incel, even though
How
I wasn't.
old were you?
I was like 18, 19.
Everyone's an incel when they're 18.
I wasn't. I was having sex.
Yeah,
but I was
like
on Adderall,
like,
and I was being a hater. Looking back, I was probably jealous because I was like, oh, this girl's fucking having a cool life and she's going out and partying with all these fucking people, and I wish I was. Instead, I'm home alone. I'm home on a fucking Saturday and I'm jerking off and I'm fucking doing homework. And I just was like, man, fuck this girl. It was basically, I felt like she thought she was so cool and too cool for school or whatever, and I felt like taking her down a peg.
And this was before you even knew what she was really about.
No, yeah, I had no fucking idea.
Wow.
And I wrote her this thing. Like maybe a couple pages long.
Oh my god.
When I say pages, I mean they were like MySpace pages. If you were to put it into Microsoft Word, it probably would have been 3/4 of a page.
Okay.
12-point font.
I mean, it's still quite a bit.
It's a long thing. And again, just to come out of the blue from someone you barely know, just ripping you apart for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
And the next day, I'm like, hung like Adderall hungover, and she wrote me back and was just like,
I want to suck her dick.
Oh, no. She won. She was just like, wow, Ben, Thank you so much for letting me know just how awful. Just really.
Oh.
Oh man,
Yeah.
and I'm reading this thing and I'm like, what did I do? Why did I send this nice girl
Oh,
this
so you had
message?
remorse.
Oh God, yeah. I felt so awful. So then I wrote her back from that, just apologizing profusely.
Jesus Christ.
So I must have come off as such a fucking lunatic. In one 24 hours earlier, just being like, you fucking bitch, you fucking stupid ass bitch, and then 24 hours later being like, I'm so sorry.
All right, let's skip to the part where you fucked her.
No, I never.
I'm just
her.
kidding.
I don't think I ever.
Wouldn't
saw
that be a
her
great
after
story?
that. I guess.
Here's the thing: is like,
but poor Brittany. Jeez, she didn't deserve that.
no, definitely not.
Nobody deserves that kind of
that's like-
anonymous abuse. Well, semi-anonymous.
If you go through any sort of like addiction process, you normally have to go back and like apologize to certain people.
They call that making amends.
Making amends. And if you were to make amends with people, would that be one of them that you try to contact?
Mm-mm.
Why?
It's way too long ago, and that has nothing to do with any of my.
You don't think that she holds any of that ever?
No, not at all. I
Why?
think she knows that was because I told her I was like, listen, I was high on Adderall. We were like in our late teens, and I don't think that
The hot kind of teens.
Yeah, that's when you're the hottest
That's
as
when
a
you're
teenager.
hottest, yeah.
Hey, I was my most attractive when I was like 19, I think.
I don't know, man. I think you're pretty hunky now. You know.
Thanks, man.
I think like I'm not gay, but I can tell when guys are hotter. You know?
I was a good-looking dude. I was like
First
20 pounds thinner.
Like, can't you like see a dude and you're like, cute? That's a hot guy. That's a hot guy.
Yeah, we
Right?
can objectively see, like, oh, man, that guy's fucking good
That's
looking.
a hot guy. I loved Andrew Santino had a joke. You know Andrew Santino?
Yeah.
He had this joke. I saw him do the set at a fucking nowhere place. Like, no one was there.
Mm-hmm.
It was me and like 14 people standing in like some downtown bar in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And he did this set where he's like, he had been doing a lot of sets that I had seen because I would like see, I was in the comedy scene, so I would see a lot of his sets. And he kept talking about like being not gay, but like appreciating how attractive men are.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably working out a bit. But when I saw him downtown one time, he was like, dude, I'm not gay, but I could see dudes and be like, that's a cute guy. That's a cute. That's a cute guy.
Using cute is different.
That's
the point.
I'm saying what he said. Yeah, exactly. That's what the joke
that guy's
flourished.
Cute. Wow.
Cute.
I'm not
Yep,
gay,
yep.
but he is cute.
So, but dude, I can see. But like now, I like have taste in guys. Not because I fuck them, but because like I can see guys and be like, you're trying too hard. You're too masculine. You're trying to be too buff. You're trying for this thing.
Now, see, I've always had that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so you've always been a
because
little
I
gay.
have an innate sense of competition as a man. I was always okay. So early on in my youth, I learned two things about myself. I have a big head, or at least I had one before my body grew into it, and I'm fat because I was the chubby one.
We have
out
a
of my three
distended
brothers.
stomach. Like even when you're skinny.
Yes.
Like you know that.
Yeah, of
That's why
course.
you unbuckle your pants when you drive.
Not anymore, actually.
Oh, okay.
I no longer have that issue. But
I saw you pull your shirt up today, and I was like, we have the same stomach.
Yeah.
Because I got a belly right now.
We got the belly.
Yeah.
So when I was up until I was, into my early 20s, I was like, oh, and big nose. I was like, I have a big nose, a big head.
No, you grew into all that.
I grew into all of that.
Yeah.
But so that my default was all of these like, oh man, I have these physical characteristics that I cannot change. They are just built into me, and I've got this uphill battle. Little did I know, I was a beautiful kid. I was a good-looking kid, even when I was a teenager.
Yeah, you're a hot kid.
Yeah, I was a good-looking kid.
I would have fucked you.
I would have fucked me too.
Sick.
If I was a twin of myself, I would have been like, "Hey, pal." I mean, we both were. It'd be like jerking off in a mirror. Come on.
Yeah, let's just
But-
make it happen.
So I was always measuring myself against others, and then that led to so many problems in my first relationship because I was constantly paranoid that my girlfriend was gonna. I remember being scared to go to see certain.
What's her name? I forget her name.
Melinda.
Do you want that to be on the podcast?
Yeah, I don't care.
All right, cool.
I'm cool with that.
Shreminda.
I remember being scared to go to certain concerts because I was afraid that the guy on stage was going to somehow make eye contact with her in the audience. And
Ben,
that she would be like,
what the fuck are you talking about right now?
I'm talking about young, dumb paranoia
Oh
and
my
insecurity.
God, Ben.
It is prevalent. It is a problem. It is a pandemic. It is the silent killer.
It's the number one pandemic.
These young men who have so little self-confidence are so afraid of being usurped.
You're not wrong, man.
I'm not, of course.
Yeah.
We as men, I mean all people, men and women and non-binaries, whatever you want to call yourself. We are all
we're just like talking about men right now. We don't have to do all
men.
that shit.
We're talking about
men right now.
Men are incredibly insecure. We are so insecure. And we have to be because we.
But the problem is like we are insecure, but to be a man is to pretend we're not, which is toxic. Like
we pretend we're not, but at the same time,
like,
contain
dude, let's
that
just
insecurity.
fucking all say as men. Sometimes we're fucking sad. Sometimes we cry. Sometimes we don't believe in ourselves. Sometimes we fucking think that we're not that rad. Sometimes we don't think we're hot. Sometimes we don't, you know what I mean? Like, dude, it's okay for men to say that shit,
I
dude.
like that. We're not that rad. Hey, sometimes, men, we're not that rad. Guys, can you get behind this? Sometimes. Hey, guys, I'm talking. Guys, can you listen? Would you agree that sometimes we don't feel that rad? We don't. We don't feel rad. Like right now, I don't feel rad when you guys aren't listening to me. I don't know why in this scenario the guys aren't listening to you.
I have a question for you because I've had this whole thing my life, and it was
your
very
whole life.
Yeah. But it's been very subconscious. It probably got like more so awoken when I was, let's say, 6th grade. Let's say 7th grade, and the reason why is because I went to Christian, like private junior high.
Whoa.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude.
Interesting.
So it was Christian, and
what was the name of the school?
Crossroads.
It's fucking Crossroads.
Yeah. What the fuck is that?
I don't know. It's a dirt bike middle school. It sounds like a dirt bike middle school.
Well, it was in Corona.
Crossroads Dirt Bike Middle School. Corona, California. Doesn't it though? It sounds like a dirt bike middle school.
No, it was definitely like, so Corona, where I grew up, is for sure like dirt bike inspired.
Totally.
You know, like there's something called Glamis. I think it's called Glamis or something like that. Where you go and you can like ride dirt bikes, and it's like a little track field, and it inspired like the popularity of the cool guys in Corona. So I didn't ride dirt bikes. I didn't give a fuck about that shit. I was a skater. I was like, I like being a skater and listening to Modest Mouse. Like, that's what I like. What the fuck was I about to say?
We were talking about the whole male insecurity thing. You were going to share with me a story about what happened to you in 6th or 7th grade.
Okay, so we keep going.
Keep going.
No, I don't remember.
It was okay. We were talking about masculinity in as young kids. Or just masculinity in general and crying, and you should be,
not knowing myself. So like, I think so. It was like in like 7th grade, basically. Oh, dude, I don't know what I was gonna say. But I know it was a good thing. Hold on. 7th grade. It wasn't 6th grade. It was 7th grade for a reason. What were we talking about before that? Oh, come on, let's do it. This is actually really good for like someone who's watching is like get there, like figure it out, like figure out what you just talked about, right? Because the people do this all the time. So like in the past, like, okay, so we were talking about something, and then that made me not do 6th grade.
Well,
but 7th grade.
I was saying that I had a big head and a big nose, and I felt like I was unattractive, and that carried with me a certain insecurity.
Being cool, maybe? I think it was being cool.
Well, yeah, and I was constantly...
Oh, I got it.
Great,
right.
Go.
So the thing about being cool was in 7th grade, no one was cool because we were at a Christian junior high that had a class of 50. across 7th and 8th grade. 50
Teeny.
people.
That's tiny.
And we all had uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't fuck with that. You couldn't identify yourself. You couldn't like wear some
Separate
regular
yourself.
you couldn't wear some crazy shit.
Yeah.
What you could do was have some crazy shoes or some crazy hair.
That's it.
Even hair had a restriction,
Mm-hmm.
you know. You couldn't color it, whatever. You know, when I went to that, it kind of made my internal bullshit meter just go like, this is stupid as fuck, dude. Like, Christian whatever, if this is what they do, that is fucking really stupid. That's not something I ever want to be a part of or make my kids a part of.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have kids. I want to have kids.
Wait, what? So you went from
Hold on. No, I want to have kids. So, like, you know, my idea was like behind me being a child was like, you know, in 7th grade, I was like, okay, I can't do this and this is with my body. Like, how the fuck are you going to tell me what I can do with my fashion and my body? You're fucking stupid. Like, like this system is retarded, dude. I know people don't like that term retarded, but like,
I don't care.
But we get, like, dude, you get it. Like, it's retarded. It's like, it is retarded because it's actually used in the right term because like it's something, let's say, not regular. That fashion of that is fucking ridiculous. So when I was in that, I was like, okay, well, when I get into high school, it's gonna be public, and I'm gonna do everything I want.
See, I had middle school uniforms as well, and I embraced it. I didn't
pee
care.
a bunch.
Me too.
Let's go pee and continue.
You pee first. Go for it.
Are you gonna keep them?
I'll
Tell the audience a
I'll
story.
just talk about.
Tell a story. Tell it.
I had to wear uniforms in middle school, and I didn't mind because, you know, I didn't have to think about what I wore every day. But that's beside the point. The story I'm going to tell is how one time on the weekend, my brothers and I and Patrick Trauber, who was my neighbor and good friend, we went down to the middle school, which was wide open. There were no fences or anything. And we were just, you know, screwing around, and we found that one of the girls' bathrooms was open. It was unlocked. So we went into the girls' bathroom, and we were like, God, we got an opportunity here to do something. What are we going to do with the girls' bathroom being unlocked? So we went outside, and we saw the lost and found box nearby. And the lost and found box was full of clothes. So we did the arithmetic and figured out that open bathroom plus clothes equals put the clothes in the toilets. So that's what we did. We took all these sweaters and sweatshirts and hoodies, and we put them in the toilets in the girls' bathroom that was unlocked. And we flooded each and every toilet in the stalls. And then we left. We went home. My brothers and I kept it quiet. We didn't say anything. It was just sort of we just went and caused mayhem. But someone else will clean it up. Someone else will deal with this. It won't be us. It'll be some faceless, nameless person. It's a victimless crime, we thought. And about an hour later, the home telephone rang, and it was Mary Ann Trauber, Patrick's mother. And she told our mom exactly what we did, because Patrick told on us. He felt so guilty. God bless him. He's still a friend to this day. Told his mom exactly what we did, and we all had to go back to the school, and our poor moms had to take all the clothes out of the girls' bathroom toilets.
This is like a child's fable you're telling me?
Yeah, well, my brothers and I and our good
and
friend.
all the king's men and all the king's horses had sex with my mom again. Ben.
Sweet baby.
I haven't sipped this. Just sip that and understand how good this is. This is made by women for women.
Oh. Is it really?
Yeah, it's from LA.
Called
It
Future
says
Gen, because
it's-
women are the future.
Women owned and operated, dude.
That's
Right
pretty
here.
cool. All right.
Yeah.
A really funny bit would be to sip it and then.
Where's the musk?
They should have called it pussy gin.
Yeah,
That's not funny. That's not
it
funny
is.
at
Yeah,
all.
it is. It's really funny.
This is cool. Future Gin was created by 4 women who wanted a spirit that represents everything we love about California, from its natural bounty to forward thinking. Future combines the structure of a dry gin with the vibrant flavors of Southern California. Amy, Mary, Freya, and Natasha. Okay. Government warning. According to the Surgeon General, women should not drink alcoholic beverages.
It says women should not drink alcoholic beverages
During pregnancy because of the risk of birth defects. But I just decided to stop there. It'd be pretty funny if the Surgeon General was
Just
like,
have a sip of that because that's my cup.
can I just...
Shut up. Shut up, dude.
That's good.
Yeah.
I've never had gin straight up.
Do one more. A bigger one and like nom 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 nom. It's good gin, huh?
It's very good.
Like, I don't even like gin, and I fucking love this shit.
Yeah, I actually don't really like gin either. This is really good. You know, it's gotta really suck to be a woman and have to say woman-owned and operated.
Well, that's part of our evolution, socially.
Like, can you imagine if we had to say man-owned and operated? This is a man-owned and operated hamburger stand. We made the man-owned hamburger stand.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is like I've thought about this a lot because, with like things now, it's like there's a lot of people like in the movie industry that are like, why does it have to be like? Why does there have to be black people? Why does it have to be about black shit? Whatever. Why does it have to be about Mexican shit? Why does it have to be about whatever? And it's like, dude, because it hasn't been about that for a long time, and now we have to do it.
Yeah.
And like, it doesn't have to be about a black scenario, but there has to be a black protagonist or a Mexican protagonist or whatever. And the reason is because like we have to get society in general used to the protagonist being not white.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Can you imagine if the movie is called White Panther?
I mean, dude.
You know what's funny? I remember when I worked at BuzzFeed, which I did. There was a whole thing internally about pay differences. And there was.
Wait, hold on. Did you like actually know who made what at a certain point?
I knew a couple.
From asking
a
them.
few people made, but there was a whole thing about like transparency about things. And in our department, it was like, oh, we got to make it transparent because men make more. And all the women made more than the men.
Really? At
Really
BuzzFeed?
funny. Yeah, like my boss was a woman, and like several of my colleagues were women who were super good at what they did, and they deserved to make more money.
Yeah.
In every job where women made more money than me, which was pretty much every job, it was deserved because they were better at the job than me. I was always dicking around. My jobs consisted of about 10% work, 10% going to the bathroom,
Fuck.
10% on my phone, and then the rest was just dicking around on the computer.
Yeah, but I would say that like because I do that shit too, but it's more so like mine's research. Like I'm doing stuff in the vein of what I'm doing. Like that's my entertainment. And, like, also my version of fucking off is, like, watching shit that's going to inspire me to do better shit for whatever I'm working for.
I think I've also jerked off at every job that I've had.
What the fuck? Really?
Yeah,
I have to.
in the bathroom.
No, wait. No. I haven't worked out my current... I haven't jacked... What am I saying?
Jacked off.
I haven't jacked off at my current job.
I didn't jack off at Legends. I was a host at a bar,
Ben, careful.
sports bar called Legends.
Ben, be careful right now.
Oh, I have nothing to hide.
All right.
I didn't jerk off at Legends. I didn't jerk off at Dairy Queen for sure. Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen? I feel like that's the one you do jerk off like a bunch.
Dude, I was 16, and I remember.
That's when you jerk off the most.
Get this, man. I remember at the end of every shift, me and the 2 Mexican ladies who I worked with, who were sweet angels,
They both jerked you off.
we would share the tip bowl, and I was thrilled beyond belief if I took home more than $4 in
Oh
tips.
wow.
$4.
Wow.
If I took
You
home
were thrilled for like $8?
Yeah, if I took home $3 and change, I was like, fuck. But if I got $4, I was like, fuck yeah.
I'm taking girls
I'm going to
out.
buy 2 monster tacos from Jack in the Box. I'm going to listen to Incubus, A Murder of Crows, on the way home in my Toyota Camry. And I'm going to get fucking shit-faced on a couple monster tacos. And I didn't jerk off at Dairy Queen.
God, what a good win for like being young.
It was
like
so good.
Like how simple were wins were back then, you know?
$4.
Dude, I remember
$4.
Okay, so I remember like my wins when I was I was a busboy. I realized this
Where?
last night. So here's the thing. I remember this last night where I think I was talking to, I forget who I was talking to, but I was talking to somebody about like my first like job that I quit because I became a filmmaker and I started making money on film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to quit my day jobs and like become a filmmaker. And what I realized was I forgot the name of the place I was a busboy at, which is fucking kind of huge, right?
Wow.
I still don't remember, but I know that they were part of the Patina group. I remember right now. I remember now.
Huh.
Cafe Pinot.
Cafe Pinot.
Pinot in
Yeah.
downtown LA.
Yeah, like
Nice ass
Pinot.
place. Yeah.
You didn't have to spell Pinot for me. Pal.
Well, Pinot could be like Pino, but there's a T, baby.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, so I was a busboy there. This is how it happened. I was a busboy there. Oh, I was doing a podcast last night. Oh yeah, okay.
Did you commute from Corona?
No, I was living in Hollywood,
Oh.
West Hollywood. I was living with I was living by myself before I lived with Jose, and so I was working at Club Monaco and this busboy job. So Club Monaco was Deep West Hollywood, Beverly Center, and then I would from there ride my bike to downtown because I had a DUI
That's
on
far,
my record. Then I would take the train, you know, and so then I would go to Pinot, and I would be a busboy. But the busboys, so I got hired, and they were just like, yeah, you know, we do, you know, restaurant. Yeah, they didn't say anything about what was gonna happen. I got hired, and what ended up happening was there was weddings that we fucking hosted, and so I thought I was gonna get off at 10 every night.
But you didn't.
No.
You got off at 3.
Oh yeah,
You
I got
should.
off at 2-3 minimum
Yeah.
because I had to break down the wedding too.
But you got some good tips, didn't you?
Yeah, but what I saw
Oh. Oh.
people doing photos and video for the wedding.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I could fucking do that. I know how the fuck I have that equipment. I know how to do that. I can do that.
Yeah.
So I quit in a very weird way, actually. I quit in a weird way where they were like, okay, so the way that I quit was like I showed up and I was like, oh, I forgot my shoes and apron. Like I just forgot it. So like I can't work
You
today.
quit in a passive-aggressive way.
I didn't know I was going to quit.
You guys gonna fire me again?
I was like, you can wait for me to come back. I have to go back to West Hollywood and get the shit and then come back. Or I could just not work today. And I kind of put them in a position where I was like, I'm not going to work today.
Shit.
And then they were like,
he's shit.
and they were like, oh, okay, well, you're not working today. And I was like, cool, I'm not going to work ever again here because I quit. And then, so it was like ease in a little bit. Like it was on some sort of like betrayal shit. But like, dude, I fucking hate. So here's the thing. It's like on regular days that were not wedding days, I would get maybe like $80 in tips, like up to $100 sometimes.
Sure.
And like the waiters would get like 150, 170, up to $200. And like I didn't get that, but it was okay because I understood like I was a busboy. I didn't fucking wait on the table, so they also had this like very clicky thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I understood that like, okay, the next step for me would be to be in that clique because I'm a waiter. Do I want that? The answer was absolutely fucking no.
Right.
So I quit, you know, and I started making films. Like I started not making. It's not like I just started making films. It was like I had been putting in the work for a long time, like on my off time, and making shit for people that was paying me $150 for a 2-week edit, and sometimes I would get lucky and I would get something that paid $1,000, and so I ended up being able to like pay my rent in video editing and filmmaking. And like, dude, I don't know if you know this. I'm just saying, but like the reason I got into editing was because I think a lot of filmmakers don't know this, but like when you get into film school, you have this thing. You're like, I want to direct. I'm going to direct. I'm going to do this. I'm going to direct. And then you realize that like it's fucking hard to have someone who's funding this thing to believe in you if you're not good yet, which no one's good at the beginning. No one's good. Mm-hmm. You might have a sensibility that no one can see, but you're not good. So I had this thing where I was very good at what I thought in my eyes, even in filmmakers' eyes. But people were just like, they didn't understand like how much it was worth. So I ended up getting into, I wanted to be a director, but I ended up editing for so many people. And the reason was because I could do it. I had the software, I had the hardware. I was very good at it.
Final Cut 7?
Yeah, for like a long time. And then what I realized was I was like, I fucking hate this. I was editing sketches for like comedians that were giving me like hundreds of dollars, like not that much. And then I realized that like I really liked comedians and I really liked being around them. And I thought that I remember editing something with some comedian. I forget who it was, but someone else directed it, and I was really sad because I wanted to direct it. I wanted to direct it, and I didn't get to, but I got to edit it. And what ended up happening was that guy who I was like inspired by, that comedian, had to come to my place 3 nights a week for 2 weeks.
Wow.
And sit with me to edit this thing. So I get to know him a lot more than someone who spent 8 hours doing this.
You don't remember who it was?
It was probably a small comedian. I don't remember.
What, like 5 feet tall?
Yeah, he's like maybe 4 feet tall. But yeah, it made me realize that like when you have an editing job, it takes so much longer. And to me, it goes back to like my dad. Like my dad was just like, I don't care about your grades. I care that you know the right people. Meaning like get popular, whatever he meant at the time. And like I've always been someone who I took that always in my life where I was like, I don't know who I want to be, but I know that like I want to be near that person because they got something going on. I want to be around that.
They got Moxie.
They got Moxie. So I always want to be around Moxie. So like there were certain comedians that had Moxie. And instead of directing something for them, I got to edit it for them. And with that came spending endless hours with them, getting lunch with them. We would go to cafes together. It became a relationship. So after that, I was like, editing is kind of dope. It's kind of dope. Like I can spend a lot of time with the people who I want to spend time with, and it became, now it's my career. I direct and edit now, but like it's only because I had that editing career that made me be able to break into being like, hey, if I direct this too, I can edit it faster, So I sort of wedged myself into being a director, but directing editing gets really swept under the rug as like some fucking kid, as opposed to like someone who you can actually enjoy your time with. And I'm friends with a lot of people now to this day because I edited something for a very long time, and anyway, so do you like fucking chicks or what, dude?
Yeah, I like the titties. I like the legs. I like the...
Dude, they got a bunch of legs.
I like the hair.
Like, what? How many leg? What's your leg preference? Like, what's the number?
I like 2.
2 is pretty nice.
I like 2.
Yeah.
1.5 is good.
Yeah.
Even 1 is fine. Even if they got no legs, I'm like,
yeah,
damn,
you can
if
spread
you got
it
a
still.
pretty face,
yeah.
I fucking like it.
You can spread their face.
Yeah, I can spread it.
Yeah.
I could close my eyes and pretend they got 2 legs.
Yeah. You can put your legs.
How did we get on that? We were talking about jobs. And Dairy Queen. I was talking about Dairy Queen.
I like the idea of like, because here's the thing is like, you and I we haven't been like struggling for a very long time.
No.
And we're mid 30s. I'm 33.
Early 30s.
I'm 30.
That's early 30s.
What are you?
I'm going to be 33 in a couple weeks.
Oh, you're younger than me.
Barely, yeah.
Okay.
By a couple weeks.
Okay.
October 29th.
I didn't know that was your birthday.
And yours is what? October 7th?
8th.
8th.
Wow, I can't believe you knew that. I didn't even know your birthday.
I know that it was recent because we just talked about it.
Oh, that's right.
So that's what? That's 21 days difference. That's 3 weeks.
Everything I've experienced about like this is also a man's experience. It's not a woman's experience or like a human experience, race wise. But like I will say, dude, like I'm Japanese and Mexican, and I almost feel like that's a strength. In my, I told you to fucking do that from the beginning, dude. I fucking knew it, dude.
It's not that you knew it. I'm just trying something differently this time.
No, the fact that I have my last name is Sugimoto, people are like, who is this guy?
Who is this guy?
What is this name?
Powerful.
What is that?
Is he a samurai?
You know? Yeah. No, actually, my ancestors, I traced it back. Samurais. Wow. Sugimoto comes from samurais.
Mine
bitch.
are just fucking probably
probably got dead.
Hat makers.
No, they probably got like burnt.
No, I didn't have any Holocaust.
You didn't have any Holocaust?
No.
Good for you.
They all bailed out of Poland.
They definitely made hats then.
They made hats, or they were like
yarmulkes. You think?
I know that one relative was a rabbi. That's it. One guy was a hat guy, probably, and one guy was he was a label maker. He made labels.
Have you ever felt anything strange at all in your life for being Jewish, work-wise?
Yeah.
No, tell me then.
I remember
because by the way, that sounds crazy to me that you've ever felt any flack from being Jewish.
I remember specifically. I remember his first and last name. It was in high school.
Give his fucking name, baby.
I believe it was 9th grade. My good friend Erica Simononik.
It's a girl.
Yes.
She sounds
Erica was super sweet and cool, and I think we were talking on AOL Instant Messenger. We were talking on AIM, and we got on the conversation of her cousin Mike Zimmerman.
Okay.
And she told me that Mike was a Nazi. For all,
wow.
White supremacist, whatever, and I was like,
all
wait,
intensive purposes.
And she gave me his screen name.
Wow.
And I believe I messaged him and was like,
why?
Hey man, who did your white supremacist? What's going on? And he
Why'd
was
you
like,
do this?
I don't know, because I was bored and I had probably jerked off, so I had nothing else on my stupid little brain.
It all boils down to when the last time you jerked off.
Did I jerk off or did I not? It's like
then I will. Will I? Like won't I?
BC and after. It's like before Christ and after Christ. Did I jerk off and did I not jerk off?
BJ AJ.
BJ O.
AJ
and AJ. Oh,
before jerk off, after jerk off. What the fuck are you doing in your brain right now?
Jerk off is 2 words.
I know, but we're not doing the O right now.
You're right. Okay, so anyway, this guy Mike was talking to me. And he said, "Wait, so you're Jewish?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was my age. I think he was a year younger than me. He went to my high school.
God, I hope you fucked him up.
And I was like, "No, I've never been in a fight in my life."
I hope you had sex with him.
No, neither that.
Okay, sorry.
Either. But he goes, "So you're Jewish?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I fucking hate you, dude." And I was like, "Excuse me?" And he was like, "Yeah, I fucking hate you." And then he was proud to say that his great uncle or grandfather or something was in the SS, Hitler's secret police or whatever.
What's the SS stand for?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Thanks.
But he was a very proud, devout, like white supremacist, Nazi, hated Jews, hated black people, hated everybody who wasn't white.
Did he have a good philosophy behind it?
None, of course. There's never a good. What do you mean? Did he have a good philosophy?
Well, because okay.
Did he have a good reason? I mean, did he hear him out? There's no. I mean, I understand what you're saying. Did he have any kind of like? He had nothing.
No, because at least Hitler had a philosophy behind it.
At least
he had an economical philosophy behind it, where they were ruining the economy. And he was like, "We got to get rid of these people instead of like reform them."
Yeah, he had nothing, dude. He was hateful because I mean, looking back,
that was a bad question. I don't know why I asked that.
He was hateful because he was a bored, insecure 9th grader.
Right. Oh, he's a 9th grader.
He was a 9th
grader.
Fuck
my ass, dude.
And
kill him.
And
sorry,
I don't think I ever met him in person. I think I might have seen him around school once or twice. But
so the whole thing where you said I'm a Jew and he said I hate you was through AIM.
Yes.
Okay, so that's easier for him to do.
Sure.
All right.
Of course. But the other Jew shit. I mean, I talk about like. Oh,
Hold on, let me tell you what.
What?
If somebody ever fucking told me, and I said, hey, I'm Japanese, and they said I hate you, I'd be like, what? Why? And they'd be like, 'cause you're Japanese. I'd be like, you're gonna die. Like, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm just like too.
Sure.
This is the Mexican side of my Asian,
Ah.
where I don't fuck with that, dude.
Yeah.
I have too many people on my side that know how to fight.
Listen, dude, I eat fucking tacos with my sushi, so.
Dude, that's just like
I put ground
that,
beef
like,
in my.
that lights me up, dude. Like, if somebody like gave me a racial "I hate you because of your race,"
of who you are,
dude,
that you
go.
can't change.
Like, I've got made fun of too much in my life for being Asian, and that's why I'm like very proud to be Mexican, because, like, even if you hate me for being Asian, you can literally only hate 50% of me. And then you have to figure out how to hate the other 50%. Dude, also,
who hates Japanese people?
Dude, racist. Yeah, they don't like Japanese people for sure. Yeah, they don't like us.
Yeah. But there's nothing to not like about Japanese people.
Yeah, but they're not being smart about it. They're not like,
I know.
oh, they're clean. Like, they've never been. They're
enterprising,
so fucking not culture, dude.
Entrepreneurial. They are smart. They're considerate. I can give you
Dude,
100 other adjectives.
My most proud thing about like my heritage is like Japanese people. Really, you have no complaint. No one can have a complaint about Japanese people other than the fact that they like fantasy rape people. That's like their fantasy. You never see fucking Lost in Translation, dude?
Yeah, but what I don't remember there being a fantasy.
But here's the thing: is like also I have to stress the word fantasy because it's not real.
Well, sure.
What it is
a lot of sexual fantasies are fantasies for a reason.
Well, a lot of women, like I think like 80% of fantasies from women are like wanting to be raped. So think about
no comment.
Well, that's just like a statistic from it's how do you say that word?
Statistically?
Yeah. How'd you say it?
Statistically.
Statistically, it's from a movie I saw.
Hey, you can almost nothing.
Wait, tell me.
You can almost hear the word titty in statistically.
Statistically, it's like a fucking a Greek warrior. Statistically.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
Saticlius. Titiclius, dude. Titiclius.
Hey, the man was known for having
Titiclius.
He was ticklish in his nipple region.
Anyway, so I got made fun of for being Asian like quite a bit. You know, I was also very short. I'm still short.
You
like,
were in
dude,
fucking where was that? Norco?
No, close. I was in Riverside, but then I went to high school in Corona.
You went to a dirt bike middle school.
I went to dirt bike, all that shit, dude. All of it was dirt. But I must say this too is like I grew up. My dad had a dirt bike and a quad, and he's also very Asian and very from oh god damn it! What's the place at the end of the 91? The Krispy Kremes. What's that area? Not Glendale. God damn it! What is it?
At the end of the 91.
The 91 ends
on the east or the west.
Oh god, it's a very Asian place.
Monrovia?
No, dude. Well, like Torrance and like something that starts with a G.
Oh,
Gardena.
Okay.
Yeah. All Asian, right? So he grew up there, and he kind of had this like vendetta against like being Asian because he was sent to a school that was to learn Japanese when he was like fucking 8. And he went there only knowing English. And he went there to learn, Japanese and be Japanese and like do Japanese shit. And all the kids there made fun of him because he didn't know Japanese.
That's all children know how to do is make fun of things that are different from them.
What my dad did was took that away and he said, hey, Mom, fuck that school. They're all making fun of me. Get me the fuck out of there. I want to go to regular school. So he went to a regular school and he spoke English and it was fine. But he holds that till this day. And he kind of put that on me where like he doesn't like, he hates Japanese culture. He just thinks it's hilarious. He thinks it's like something to make fun of. So that being
That's
said,
terrible.
it's also like
it was his coping mechanism.
but he also has such a good sense of humor
Mhm.
that like he is very into, he'll we'll go to Marukai.
Mhm.
Do you for real?
It sounds familiar.
So there's like a mall / like eating place, like
In
it's called
downtown LA?
Marukai. Like there's several of them in the world.
Mm.
Marukai. People know about it. But you go there, you could buy Pokemon cards, you could get fucking udon from the best place ever. You could buy groceries. Like it's a fucking like Asian place to go.
Okay.
Japanese specifically. My dad has this very weird thing like against like Japanese culture, and he will make fun of Japanese culture, but he also will go to Marukai and be like, "Oh, this stuff is really good. You got to buy cuttlefish." Like he'll be into it, you know. We'll go to a sushi place, and he'll be like, "Oh, this is the best sushi." Blah. It's like, dude, you pick a lane, dude. Like, what one do you want? Like, reconcile something within you before you try to put the fuck on me, dude.
Mhm.
So he didn't do that, and now I'm like conflicted. I love being Japanese. But when I come across somebody who's Japanese that doesn't speak the best English, I'm like, fuck, yeah, I should want to talk to someone who speaks English. Like, I wish that I had that, like, empathy for Japanese people. And, like, I'm growing on it, you know? And, like, I'm planning a trip to Japan so that I can, like, build that because my last name is Sugimoto, which is like fucking Smith in America.
Yeah.
So I want to build a bigger idea and appreciation for my heritage, man.
As you should.
It's just what about yours? Cahn.
I have no idea. I know it came from Cone, and then that came from Cohen.
Wait,
and
you
it
weren't
was-
like Constantine?
Nope. It was
Constantinople?
It was good guess, but no. It was the A was an O. It was Cone, and then before that it was Cohen.
Oh yeah,
and that was changed because it sounded too Jewish.
How do you know this?
I was told
By
my dad, and because his dad and his dad before him was the one who changed it. So my
is
dad's
there any
grandpa.
documentation though that you've seen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
How do you see the documentation, by the way? Just like someone do like a report?
I think it was old. I mean, I saw old IDs.
Okay.
But it was changed. So I was told it was changed because Cohen sounded too Jewish, and they didn't want to sound too Jewish because it was around,
Burning time.
No, it wasn't even. I don't even know if it was around the Holocaust.
Burning time.
Right.
Get all the Jews in one room, man. Get them a super hot.
They didn't do it in a room.
What do you mean? Yeah, they
That was gas chambers.
Well, chamber, room, same thing.
But that's burning.
Burning
gas.
chamber. It's the symbols. The syllables don't work.
Burning
man.
chambers.
Burning chamber.
Anyway, I don't.
I'm sorry, Ben. I know your people suffered.
I don't know. I don't know anything beyond that. And then my mom's side, which is not Jewish, I truly do not know anything. I know it's Nordic.
Are you interested?
Yeah, sure, but I'm all my mom knows is what my grandma knows, and she's the only living part of that side, and I think our side of that family comes from Norway or Sweden or something. One of the Nordic countries.
You know what's strange is like realistically, it kind of doesn't matter where we came from.
No, I don't care.
It
I mean, I
doesn't.
really do care, but
I will say some people that know deeply what they came from, they have something else.
Sure.
They have something else in presence, you know?
Yeah.
I am so disconnected from even my parents that I'm kind of like, I feel alone, you know? And like, but if I was like more connected with my parents, I feel like maybe I had a therapist tell me, we were all like like something that we had that came from evolution was like, from canines. We're very wolf pack like, and like we want to be part of a tribe.
Sure.
So
of course.
When you feel disconnected from your tribe, you're going to inherently feel lonely.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, you have to connect with your parents and your family more to feel more whole. That is just the truth. That's the brutal truth. And you might not want to hear it, but that's what it is, man. So I tried back then, but like dude, there's a fucking election coming up. Like, dude, let me ask you a question. What are you doing?
Who's being elected?
Well, there's Tom Hanks versus
Tom Hanks.
Triple H from the wrestling thing.
Triple H?
Yeah, both of them are
The
like up
wrestler?
for president.
They're going to be the president of what?
Why are you talking like a Asian right now?
I'm not. I have a vacuum in my. I was doing a nebbish, Jewy dummy.
I just disagree.
Who's going to be elected? Who's going to be, why does he have 3 H's?
I have a question for you. Do you think that you could ever be president?
Yes.
No, fuck you, dude. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, I could absolutely be president.
No, shut the fuck up. How could you think that? I'm sorry.
No,
But like
it's okay.
for real, tell me.
Well,
That also like kind of pissed me off a little bit. But also I love you, so like I don't know what to do right now.
I could I mean, anything is possible now. So, I mean, it could realistically be like, all right, you would have to start small. So, mayor of LA.
Easy.
Easy.
No problem at all.
No problem. I could be the mayor of LA.
Fucking shoe in.
Okay,
Let's
okay.
just like get there
All right,
easy.
all right. We could even back up a little bit and be like city council. All right, city council of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Mayor of LA.
Yep.
And then fucking governor of California.
Where did they go?
Governor of California or
Okay.
senator.
Okay.
And then from there, that's it. That's all you got to do.
What do you mean that's it?
I mean, from there, you can... governors and senators are the ones who run for president.
Okay, what you're missing is the gap between you doing that and getting from that to president.
Well, yeah, I would have to fucking run a campaign.
Well, yeah, dude, what the fuck you... Dude,
I don't know,
my
man.
question is, why do you think you would be a good president?
Because I'm fucking young now. I'm young and charismatic.
Wait. Quiz time. What's the youngest president?
Kennedy.
The Kennedy, dude.
Kennedy.
The Kennedy.
I didn't say that.
You said
did I?
the Kennedy.
Okay.
You're French. You're like Le Kennedy.
The Kennedy. I think Kennedy was the youngest. I think he was.
Yeah,
And
I don't know the answer.
I think
so.
he was. I think he was in his 40s. But I would do it. I would not do it. But
do you guys like vodka?
the vodka good. But I would. No. I'm about to go home and not go home, but go pass out.
We have 15 more minutes.
15 minutes? Get the fuck
10,
out of here.
10,
we
10,
have
10.
90 more seconds.
No. You're being weird right now. Why are you being weird?
I will. Well, I'll tell you why I could be president.
Okay, tell me.
I couldn't, but I could. You know why?
I like how you went from I could be president, I couldn't.
Well, actually, okay. The only reason why I say I could is simply because of how times have changed. Because now Donald Trump has shown that really any fucking idiot, and I'm pointing at me, can be president.
Yeah.
Because what does it fucking mean anymore? But
Trump was all name recognition.
he was many things. But
No.
realistically,
In my point of view, name recognition.
Yeah.
That's it.
to really answer your question, could I be president? I don't know, man. But would I want to be? Fuck yeah, I would. Who wouldn't?
You think so?
I would want to be president.
Why would you want to be such a control freak?
I wouldn't want to be. It's not that I would want to be a control
Dude,
freak.
the stress on your life, like
Mhm.
think about. Hold on, think about like
The greater
life. No. Think about the greater idea of life.
Mhm.
Like, do you want the fucking stress of the country on your fucking shoulders for a guaranteed 4 years, dude? Fuck that, dude.
It's true.
I want to lay under the cut, dude.
You know,
I want to be rich,
Mhm.
but like not that rich. I don't want to be famous because fuck that, dude. That's why I'm a director, because I love being the guy behind the guy, dude. I want to cast the next Leo in my film, and then Leo's taking all the fucking like
Leo
press
2.
shit. Leo 2. And like CO2. So I want like whoever I do in my Titanic to be the fucking famous hot guy.
Yeah.
And I want to be the guy that like maybe gets a podcast interview like once a month. Like I don't give a fuck about being I fucking don't want to, like, being famous sounds like the fucking worst thing in this literal world.
It really does, because you really can't go anywhere or do anything. Seriously. And as stupid as that sounds to be, like, you can't go anywhere, do anything. But think about that. Tom Cruise can't have a normal life.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise cannot go anywhere or do anything.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah.
That's no way to live.
I will say, if I saw Tom Cruise at like a Whole Foods or like a Gelson's,
I would not.
No. I would for some reason like strike up a conversation, and then I'd be like, listen, I know you're Tom Cruise, and like I think you're like fantastic, but I want to know you as a person. Would you mind like us getting to know each other as a person? Because like I just like very agree with the fact that like no one is gonna ever know you, and I want to not know you by hanging out with you.
That's
tonight.
a really sweet and earnest thing to say.
Dude, I'm the shit, dude.
I'm sure he would answer.
I want to eat pussy right now. Like, that sounds really good, like a good idea.
I wish I had a pussy for you to eat.
Dude, I would eat the fuck out of your pussy right now.
Thanks,
I'm so
man.
horny.
I would have a really good looking pussy if I had one. I'd have a really.
You think you'd have a good pussy?
If I had a pussy, it would be really good looking, but I'd be so self-conscious.
Do you think you'd have a lippy pussy or like one of the tight ones?
I would have right in between, but you know what I would have? A dirty ass.
Oh, everyone has a dirty ass.
I know.
Because that's where the shit comes out.
I agree. But so anyway, what Tom Cruise would say in response to you is, I really appreciate that. What's your name? John? I really appreciate that, but I'm just, you're being honest with me. I got to be honest with you.
Nice.
I don't fucking know you.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay,
I love
dude.
Tom Cruise.
I love Tom. Here's the thing. Like,
He's a movie star.
If I ever saw Tom Cruise, I'd be like, let me help you get away from this paparazzi. Fuck those people. And then I'd help him get away. Right. I'd help him get away. I'd be like, oh, fuck these people.
Your fantasy is so...
Dude, it's hot. It's good.
Let me help you
and
get
then,
away.
basically, I fuck Tom Cruise, okay? Oh, well, okay. So you're asking me if I would ever fuck Tom Cruise.
No, I'm not. I don't know where you got that. I didn't ask that at all. Nowhere close.
Well, then never mind. But never mind.
But now I know the answer. You would fuck Tom.
Oh, you don't know that because you didn't ask.
Would you fuck Tom Cruise?
Like in an emergency or like what?
What's the emergency?
Just like if I have to. Like if he's dying or something and he like needs me.
No, I was thinking like in a Mission Impossible, and Simon Pegg is like, "Oh,
Simon Pegg."
Well, because he's in Mission Impossible. Did you see the last Mission Impossible?
I don't know. I remember.
Okay, I'm gonna get serious here for a minute. If you haven't seen, did you really not see the last Mission
Listen
Impossible?
to me.
Ghost Protocol?
I probably saw it,
Was
but I
Ghost
forgot.
Protocol? It's got Henry Cavill, the guy who plays Superman.
He's like too hot to like. He's so unpersonality.
I know. I agree. The last Mission Impossible. Frankly, the last like 3 or 4 Mission Impossibles are so good. They're so good.
I'll tell you what.
Huh?
I love franchises.
Dairy Queen, McDonald's.
No, I love
Subway.
I love regular franchise. I love Mission Impossible. I love
Subway's-
Sherlock Holmes. I love fucking the other ones. What are the other ones? Tell me. I love all of them.
The driving one.
Yeah.
Drive
Oh,
Hard.
Mission Impossible. No. Fast and the Gay. Yeah, that one. I love that one.
You've made out with dudes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
How many?
Like 4.
Wow, good for you.
Ask me.
Who? When?
Ooh.
When was the most recent? I
So
didn't
so I made out with dudes in high school because okay, here's my entire philosophy behind being a man, making out with another man.
Mm-hmm.
First off, who the fuck is to tell you can't do whatever the fuck you want?
Of course.
Next step. Gay is apparently wrong? No, it's not. I know gay dudes who are fucking so rad that I love them because they're gay. Why are you laughing, dude? Shut up.
It's
Shut
funny.
Up. Stop.
I'm laughing because I'm drunk.
Shut up. So then
Wait, real fast. You doing that? Just real fast.
yeah, I'm a fly.
Okay, so I have to tell you this. Mission Impossible, the latest one. Ving Rhames is in all the latest ones. There. Stop.
Did you hear it? Did you hear
Yes, I did it. Wait. There is a shot in the last Mission Impossible where Tom Cruise says, "Hey, we got to do this thing that's very sketchy." And Ving Rhames, you know who Ving Rhames is?
Yeah, of course.
He's standing there and he's got on a Hawaiian shirt and he goes like this.
That's gay a little, huh?
With his hands, just like this. Just like this. He's doing a ponderous thing with his hands.
Ponderous.
Just like this. He's going like this, like, can we do this? And then they end up doing the thing. Go on.
All right, listen, Ben. I've loved talking to you so much tonight. This is super sick. I want to do podcasts.
How long have we been talking, man? 3 hours. 2 hours and 35 minutes.
No. Less.
More?
Less.
Okay. 2 hours and 8 minutes.
No. 2 hours and 3 minutes.
Well, I was very close.
Yeah,
but very close.
Yeah,
I was off by 5 minutes.
But can I? All right, buddy. I love you so much.
I haven't touched another person.
Touch me! No!
Ow! Oh, it's my bad hand.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You didn't hurt it. You didn't hurt it.
I love you. Thank you for being
too.
on the podcast.
Thank
I love
you.
you so much. I'm gay.
I'm gay.
Everyone, we're all gay.
We're all gay.
Everything's all good.
We love each other.
All right, let's shut this shit off. If you made it through that episode, congratulations. I owe you some sort of sex. I don't know why my brain goes to sex, but I owe you sex. Make sure to go to YouTube, like and subscribe on that shit, and then go to Apple Podcasts and rate and review. Great way to help the show. Those two ways. If you want to go even crazier and fuller, there's a TikTok and an Instagram. The TikTok is face and then the number 2 and then FaceTime. And then the Instagram is just at face to FaceTime, the words. My name is John Ryan. Thanks, and I'm excited to show you the show that I've been working on, the development of this show. Have a great life. Like, until next episode. Then I'll make sure and tell you to have a great life again. So you don't stop having a great life, and I'll be responsible for it. I know I'm dressed like David Cho. Bye.